Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing? Can you
Great.
see
How
me?
are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh,
Awesome.
so good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. Yeah,
Yeah. So, how
cool.
have you been?
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
How have you been?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good at the moment. The weather is good with us in the south of France at the moment, so it's like warm temperatures and nice sun, so we can start and eat a bit outside. And yeah, we've been working a lot on the promotion of the new EP and starting to work on some bookings for next year.
Oh, wow.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
so about the EP, tell
yeah,
me more about it. I'm really like everybody was kind of expecting for you to release an album last year, then Corona hit,
yeah.
and now at least something I was really glad to see, and
Mm,
the responses I've heard so far were amazing. So how
cool.
does this all came up?
Yeah, well, what happened basically is that so we spent basically 2019 on top of doing some gigs. We've been writing that second album, so all the songs are written already for more than a year now, and we started to do some recording sessions for that album. We started back in January 2020, I think, something like that, and. We were thinking about releasing this album basically by June 2020. So we shot the first video in February, which was Unstoppable,
Yeah,
and then the pandemic hit. So
that's quite
obviously,
unfortunate timing, really.
yeah. So obviously everything changed from that point, and we were discussing about how efficient it will be to release that first song or not. And thanks to you, we met with Tom and Tracy from Tag Publicity in the US. We owe you that because you put us in touch. So
I'm
that,
glad you guys clicked and found a way to
yeah,
work
great
together.
people. Yeah, I
Tom
love
is
them.
a
Yeah,
great and hardworking person from my
yeah.
experience. So
Yeah, we are 100% satisfied with everything that they've done so far for that single, and the follow up that they did with all the press, and the communication between us was like top notch as well. I had the opportunity to speak in person with Tom on the phone as well. He's a great guy, get along very well. I've seen that he was in the hospital for a week or
yeah,
something like that. He's just back home, so I'm very happy for him. So yeah, basically they pushed us to release that single, and it worked fantastic. Like we are not very pretty close from a million stream on that song on Spotify, for example. So it's big
it's quite
numbers
a
for us.
number.
Yeah, it's big numbers for us. So after that, we thought, yeah, maybe after the summer, we're gonna be able to, push the release of the album for that moment by the fall of 2020. Then the second lockdown happened in France. So basically, we were fucked again. So yeah, after that, we thought, yeah, January 2021. Uh,
Yeah,
then
everything
after,
just keeps shifting
yeah,
forward.
every 3 months we were like postponing for month, later.
Yeah,
So yeah, so we thought in January, well, it doesn't smell that good anyway for touring and stuff, and we can't afford not to tour after releasing that album. So we thought we're gonna push that for probably the end of 221 or even 222, and then we need to find something for our fans, as well, to keep us busy as well. But we were really thinking about our fans and thinking, yeah, all those guys, they've been supporting us, like for 2-3 years now, not many years, but since the Tremonti tour, really, lots of people, you know, like they
You made
never.
quite an impact during the tour, and a lot of people just loved you
Yeah,
during that tour, from what I know. So
yeah, I think that as well. I mean, I was very impressed about the love and the dedication of so many people from that crowd. I mean, it's still really nice to see that years after, those guys are still pushing for us, and they're still there and waiting for us to release some new stuff. So we thought guys, we can't let down those guys. We can't not find something to give them, in return as well. So we had that idea with our new label, new digital distributor, Le Pool Metal Jacket in France, that maybe could be a good idea to revisit some of our previous material, but with different angles. So the first idea that came up to our minds was obviously the acoustic versions. So we started to work on Unstoppable first, to do a kind of link with the fact that it was released a year previous. So we try to stick with the date. I think we released the song on the 10th of April 2020, and so the acoustic version, the unplugged version, was released on the 16th of April. So that's basically a year. And then after that, we thought about other ideas. The label was coming up with some ideas of remixing with some electro artists. We like that idea, so we've been working with two different people for that. One that is coming from me, Tristan Garner, the more like dubstep, aggressive Skrillex type of thing, and the MLD, more Daft Punk kind of stuff, is more the idea of the label, but we also really like it. And we've done a collab as well with a very talented keyboardist and arranger, which is Vivien Lalu. Is a very pretty well known in the world of progressive rock and metal. He's been working lately on an album with collaborations with Jordan Rudess from Dream Theater. He's been working with Simon Phillips on the drums as well. And
wow, yeah.
Yeah. And he was Virgil Donati was his drummer for many years. And things happen that he's now drummer and mixer of the album is Jelly, our drummer.
Yeah.
So
nice.
that's how we made the connection with Vivien. And we already had let's say a piano, pretty classical type of piano voice of White Colossus. But we thought with the direction of the new album and what we're up to, we wanted something a bit more different, a bit less classical, kind of say,
Yeah.
And so we went to work with Vivien, and it clicked right away. He's been doing an amazing job with that song and revisiting, like the White Colossus song, and I'm stoked with what he's been doing. So I hope people will like it. So basically, that's what's happening tomorrow, the release of this EP. It's like I say, it's kind of an aperitif before the proper meal, which will be the second album.
Yeah, so I really do hope, but with these acoustic versions and everything, do play to incorporate it in your shows, because everybody from the Tremonti shows are used like, this is so energetic, your shows. You guys don't stop. So are you planning to maybe slow down a little bit for the acoustic part, or?
Yeah, I mean,
I can't imagine like you during a show just not running around, jumping and stuff like that.
I can. I definitely can, but it's true that the choice that we made for the Tremonti tour, as we were the first opener of the evening, so we only had 30 minutes to convince. Yeah. We decided to do something like a punch in the face, you know, like we wanted to crush the audience. Basically,
And
we
you
wanted
did,
to.
honestly, like you are so much
Thanks.
more entertaining than the second band, honestly. I felt sorry for the guys that went after you because, like, comparing to that kind of show and that kind of energy, it's not easy.
I mean, it's I've heard people saying that. You're not the first to tell me that, but in the other hand, you know, those guys. Let's be honest. We're gonna name them. It's our friends from the Raven Age. I mean, they are great guys. We are very good friends with those guys. They do good music as well, and they are very dedicated and talented people. So I mean, I can't say anything, you know, like bad about those guys, because I mean, we get along very very well, and we've got ton of respects for what they do. But you know, some people will prefer their vibe and some others will prefer ours. It's just a matter
It's a
of
matter of taste and stuff like that, but you really did set up the bar really, really high as an opening act. It's not that common that the first band is that good like you were, guys. So
mm, that's what was the very very positive point of that whole tour as well, is that we got recognized as not only a very fresh up and coming band, but more like a kind of already professional up and coming band. Even if we were not playing together for a long time, you have to remember that when we started the Tremonti tour, we just did 2 gigs with that version of the band, which means with Jelly as a drummer. So it was the beginning of the real story of this band. You know, in my opinion, and that's what I'm always saying to the guys. It's to me, the band really was born on that tour. You know, that's when we really bonded as human beings, and we witnessed that we were getting along very well, and that this brotherhood on stage for the music and the taste for a very energetic performance and giving a lot to the audience. And you know, it's something particular happened. And you know, I've had several bands before that, and it doesn't happen really often in a career to click that much artistically and on a human level with people. So yeah, even Mark, he couldn't really believe that we were that new, you know. When we said that we just started the band, he was like, what? Are you kidding me?
yeah, I mean, it was like really, really professional, and you guys really clicked, and it worked together really well. I mean, I think most of the people wouldn't tell that you are this kind of lineup and this kind of band for such a short time before the tour. So
Yeah, but I mean, we wanted. I mean, we were so happy to be on that tour. I mean, you have to understand that, you know, we live in a period of time that is very interested to have some perspective on the French metal scene, you know, with what's happening with Gojira at the moment. And
yeah,
obviously those guys are a huge example. And I mean, since those guys started to be a very well renowned international band as a French band, they changed a lot of how people in the music business are seeing French bands as
yeah,
metal
because there
bands,
are
you know.
not that many metal
No,
bands from France.
that,
Like,
no, that
I
there
can
are
think of a
lots.
few, but most people would know just Gojira and that's it
Yeah,
when it comes to
lots of
France.
them. There are lots of them, but many of them, they don't really tour internationally. And so, as an up and coming band who released his first album in March 2018, being able to already be on such a huge tour on the same year, by the fall, you know, of 2018, that was an unbelievable luck, you know, for us. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously we've been working our asses off to get that slot, you know. But at the same time, there was kind of you know, like the stars were aligned above our heads. It was like it was a bit destiny, you know. And we are huge fans of Mark as well, with Arthur Bridge or his solo stuff, especially Adrian and I. So we wanted everything to be perfect, like there was no way for us that we could suck on stage or we could behave badly backstage or whatever. So we were just really, really focused and prepared, and very professional about everything. And for example, at the beginning of the tour, we started to have some issues with our merch girl, and we didn't really hesitate to fire her and do the merch ourselves, because some stuff were starting to be a bit fishy with that girl. And so we didn't want to leave any kind of bad impression about.
Yeah, it must have been a lot of pressure, especially playing with someone that could be considered your idol and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So what was it like to go on stage on the first night of the tour with Tremonti for you?
Wow, we always remember that it was in Portugal, in Lisbon. It was the 4th November 2018, which was the third birthday of my son.
Oh.
That I missed. He's 5 years old, and so far I've been missing 3 of his birthdays.
That sucks, but yeah, it's
the life that I chose,
Yeah.
So in a way, it's sad,
just a date, you can celebrate on any other day.
I love him anyway, every day the same. So birthday, Christmas, whatever, he's still my sweetheart. So that's okay, and he knows it. So yeah, I mean that first gig was it was obviously a lot of pressure, but a lot of pleasure as well, because we felt welcomed from day one. I remember every bit of it when we arrived across the venue, and then after meeting Mark for the first time and all the guys for the first time, everybody was so nice with us. And then doing the sound check, and straight away we saw that they were so welcoming with us, making room on stage so we could be comfortable and stuff like that. So and just before going on stage, Mark came to us. He was checking us, have a good show, guys, and stuff. So I mean, just lots of little things like that on the human level that are, that it's giving you even more will to do well, so let's say. So yeah, that first gig was fantastic. And then after, I think it was the second or the third show, Mark came on stage wearing our shirt, Disconnected shirt. So we were like, oh. I remember Adrian, I think it was probably the sound check in Madrid, and Mark came to watch our sound check. And I remember Adrian, we were rehearsing for all our sakes. He fucked up half of his solo on the song because he was like, "Oh, my fucking hero watching me play." So yeah, that was it's timeless memories for us. I mean, and so it goes on and on like that. I've got so many good memories with all those guys, and like I was telling you as well, with the guys from the Raven Age. They've been so nice with us. I mean, especially their tour manager, Luc Di Stefano, is a good friend of mine now. I really like this guy. He's been helping Disconnected so much during the tour, giving us all the right advices about how to handle things, because we didn't have a big team like them. I was doing the tour management for the band. So it was the first time I was doing that. And being the only guy in the band who can really talk pretty well in English, I had to be that guy in between, like the American and the English camp and the French camp. So everything was running smoothly, and they were telling us what to do, what not to do, and stuff like that. So I had to translate and like say everything to my guys. I mean, Adrian, he understands pretty well everything in English. He can write pretty well, but it's it's more like practicing stuff that he's a bit shy, and so but I'm sure once we will tour more abroad, he will improve a lot, so
It is just practice. It's just a matter of talking to people.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. It is. I mean, I lived 10 years with an English girl, so that's why I can speak English basically. So
Yeah.
the three first year I was with her, she was in France with me, and she wouldn't speak a word of French. So I had to speak English. I had no
Yeah.
option but to speak English with her. So yeah.
Yeah. You guys also played with Judas Priest. So what
Oh
was that
yeah.
like? That's huge. I was so pissed I could not be there for that gig.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. I mean, basically, it's the when we announced the Tremonti tour. I think it was just before one of the big independent promoter in France, Drouot Production, reached out to us. Mathieu Drouot he always kept an eye on us, and when he saw that we were doing that big tour in Europe, first of all, he was like very proud of us because he knew how difficult it is, like for up and coming bands to go on tours like that. And so first of all, he offered us a slot to open for Alice Cooper in
That's
Olympia in
nice
Paris.
too.
Yeah, which was really cool as well. And then after he said he came back to us and saying, well, I think you'd be more suited to open for Judas Priest in a larger venue. So we said, yeah, why not?
You cannot complain. Like with
Yeah, so he was like, would you like to do it? We said, sure, hell yeah. How would you refuse that?
yeah, I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
imagine.
So yeah, we got on that gig. We were helped also for that gig with a very famous promoter in Germany named Ozzy Hope, who's a friend of mine as well. I know him from the south of France for years now, and he's a great help for the band. He's kind of our manager for the international stuff now. So it's a very like big asset for us because this guy has done everything. He's been promoting all the biggest shows in Germany ever. He's been working with everybody. Like from Guns N' Roses to the Rolling Stones to Aerosmith, Iron Maiden, Metallica, whatever. He was also the manager of Whitesnake and Deep Purple. I mean, he's huge. So yeah, we got that gig, and then I mean, it was a lot of pressure as well. But once again, the lucky star of Disconnected was like bright and shining in the sky above our heads on that evening. The crew of Judas Priest were super nice with us. I mean, they were so welcoming with us as well, making room again for us on stage, like helping with our backdrop and whatever. We had plenty time to do our sound check, no limitation to use the PR. Well, it was amazing. And the cherry on the top of the cake is that 35 minutes before going on stage, someone is knocking at our door, and it's fucking Rob Halford coming to say hello.
Wow, that
We
must
were
have
like,
been nice.
oh yeah, we were like, oh shit. Yeah, so that was crazy. He came up to us and say, hey guys, I wanted to tell you that we appreciate that you're opening for us. We've been checking what you were doing, and we were happy that a good band, a good up and coming band like you would open for us. And it's great to have you whatsoever. What are you doing at the moment and stuff? So we've been joking with him, and like he spent like 10-15 minutes in the locker room with us. And we had a guy, a friend, filming like for us some footage for the Zenith. Of course, it's a big thing for us. And so we stopped to film when Rob was in the dressing room with us. And Rob said, no, continue to film and take photos and stuff, we'll give you, like some good promotion to have, like some videos with me and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, the guy he's a legend, but he's you know,
It's
like
really nice to see these kind of legends to be such a down to earth, nice
yeah.
people, because it
Me-
doesn't happen always.
No, it's not always like that, but I have to say that most of the time, the the bigger they are and the nicest they are. It's not a general rule. It's not 100% true, but you know, like many people are very very nice. You know, Mark is a super nice guy. I've heard so many times that Miles was super nice as well. The guys from Seven Dust looked super nice as well. You know, I mean, it's the guys from Iron Maiden are very cool as well. We shortly after doing Judas Priest, we played with the Raven Age in Paris at La Boule Noire, which is a little venue in Paris. They invited us to open for them, and we're very happy to do it and to have that reunion with those guys. And when I finished to sing for my show, I get in the locker room, and the first person I bumped into was Steve Harris.
It's so cool.
So I mean, I was like, "What's happening? What's happening to us?"
Yeah,
Totally.
I can relate to that feeling so well.
So, obviously, I know he's the father of George from the
Yeah,
Raven Age, but knowing that and meeting the guy in person, it's a total different, you know, thing, you know. And I was, of course, impressed because he's one of my youth. You know, like he's one of my heroes. I mean, I've been listening to Iron Maiden since I was probably 13 years old, and I'm 44. So you see,
that's a lot of
it's
time.
been 31 years, really.
Yeah. So you've been saying that you're working on some dance and stuff like that, and especially now it seems like finally things are starting to move somewhere. I've seen so many announcements for tours in US.
Yeah,
I'm kind of jealous, honestly, because it's not really
me too.
happening in Europe
Me too.
yet.
Exactly.
But I guess we will get there soon as well. So
Mm.
do you have any kind of dates or anything already planned for some kind of tour or something?
Not really at the moment. The only thing that we have at the moment is that we play a little festival in the south of France, not very far from where I live. By the 16th of October, it's called the Just and Fest, because it's Saint-Just it's a little town.
Mhm.
So we play there, and then after that, normally we should do all the festivals that we were supposed to do in 220. So in 220 we were supposed to play Rockfest in Barcelona
Yeah,
with Kiss and
I
Judas
remember
Priest.
that announcement. I was so
Then we were
stoked.
Yeah, then we were supposed, and that was not announced, but I can talk about it because it's going to be postponed, probably. Then we were supposed to play Wacken also.
Yeah, I was like, really, this is not happening. Like, they
Yeah,
are canceling the Vacana and you were supposed to play because you told me about it, and I was like,
exactly.
shit,
Yeah, yeah.
no.
We were supposed to play that festival the same day as a band that I really like from Israel, which is Walkways. I don't know if you've heard of those guys, but if you
Yeah,
haven't, go and check them out because it's a really good band with a great singer. Really like them. And then in August 2020, we were to open for Slipknot in a festival in France named the Cabaret Vert. So can you imagine when the pandemic
yeah,
hit, we had all that in our minds, you know, like the release of the album, then those three huge fucking festivals, and that all went through the window, you know.
yeah,
So
especially
yeah,
for a band like Disconnected, it just started to blow up and started to
yeah,
get somewhere,
exactly.
and this all hit as
Yeah,
just like for the
it was
bands that are already established is not as much of an issue as for these
no.
smaller bands, I think.
It is. It is. It is because those bands, you know, they have their audience and they know that as soon as they're gonna come back, as soon as it's gonna reopen, it's not gonna be a problem for them to have you know like shows booked and stuff like that because they all already have this entourage, this professional entourage, you know, so to say. But for us, like as we do a lot of things by ourselves, but now we are also helped with Ozzy. That's also why we are on those big festivals, because he's got his hand in those things, so obviously it helps a lot. So yeah, it's very difficult, because you have to do again all that work, because when you do summer festivals of that size in the summer of 2020, you go out of that tour with that aura of being a band that has been on those big stages, so it's already easier for you by default to find a good slot on a tour,
Yeah, festivals
because
are usually great for starting bands, for people
yeah,
to actually get to know the bands.
yeah, exactly, because you've got lots of also of professionals coming to those festivals, checking new bands and stuff like that, and so lots of things can happen there. So now we have that network and those relationships with different companies and stuff like that we've already been working with, and it's just a matter of trying to find the right slot and try to convince those guys that we are the right opener for some big tours with I don't know who, but we're gonna try everywhere we can. Obviously, Gojira is gonna go back on tour in 2022.
That would be awesome combination to see you guys with
great.
your homies.
Great, yeah, it could be great. I would love that. I know some people from their camp, and of course we are talking with those people. But at the same time, they are the hottest band on the planet at the moment.
Yeah, they are, especially with ranking so high in the charts and everything with the new album.
That's a fact. Number one in the US.
Yeah.
They are number 2 of all genres in France. That has never happened in the history of music in France. Never. So these guys number 2 after some random R&B pop singer, with full of auto-tune and stuff. So it's a massive accomplishment for those guys. Yeah. So obviously everybody on the planet is gonna want to open for Gojira.
Of course.
It was already the case before, but now it's gonna be even bigger. So yeah, who knows? We're just gonna try our best to convince people and to see like where we could fit and just do our best, because it's gonna be tough, especially for up and coming bands, because so many people are now gonna release a new album and wanting to tour straight away. So it's gonna take a few years before it comes back to really kind of normality, I think, for the music business. Yeah,
but the sooner it starts, the better. So the new album, when do you expect? Do you have the EP coming out tomorrow? Do you already have some kind of plan for the second album?
We have some
everything
plans
ready for the release already?
We have some period of times that I can talk about, but really it's gonna depend on what's gonna happen tour-wise, because we are also investing on PR companies in different countries. So there is USA, but there is also in the UK, Germany, France as well. So we wanna do something perfectly timed. We need to release the album at the right time. So in my opinion, we won't be releasing this album before 2022. That's for sure, because 2021, it's too early for Europe to go back to touring.
Yeah, most probably. So you're right.
It's gonna depend the winter or before the summer festivals, because it's gonna depend on what we can catch as tours.
Yeah.
If, for example, we tour with Gojira in February, March 2022, we will release the album at that moment.
Fingers crossed for that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I can cross.
I would love to see that happen.
Yeah. But if we're unable to get on the tour, like let's say for January to April, maybe we will release the album by April or May, and have that follow up of the festival, the postponed festivals in the summer. I mean, I don't know yet if they are postponing for Rockfest and Wacken, but honestly, I think they will, because
Yeah, especially Rockfest is too soon. It's beginning of July.
yeah.
Wacken is a month later.
Yeah, I saw that in Belgium they were doing Alcatraz
Yeah, I saw
in
the
August.
announcement as well. We'll see
Yeah,
how that goes.
yeah, and it's a good opportunity maybe for us as well, because obviously there is no American bands that are gonna come in Europe to perform, so
Yeah,
it's
it's
gonna be
basically impossible right now. So that
mainly
could be a good
European.
opportunity actually for the European bands.
Yeah, mainly European bands. So yeah, we'll see if the booker of the festival is answering one day to us. Maybe we'll have a shot at that. We've been trying for 2 years already, and he never replied. You know who you are. But yeah, well, we'll see. But yeah, no, probably we will release a new single of the second album by this fall, certainly, I have to say, and then another single probably beginning of 2022, and then the album to follow up. So yeah, the second video is ready. The song is recorded. It's in the mixing process. We are starting to work with quite a big name in the US as a mixer as well. So we are really pushing the envelope for this album to be something special.
Yeah, I think everybody is looking forward to it. Like, I'm really excited to hear more of you, what you guys came up with, because the first album I didn't really know you before as a band, before you actually wrote me, and I was like listening to the album, and I was like, starting band doesn't usually have this good of an album as a debut. It's like, so
nice.
I can't wait to see what you guys came up
and
with this time.
just to answer to the question you were asking just earlier about staying still on stage. I mean, if we have the opportunity to play 45 minutes or 1 hour, there is a good chance that, for example, we could have a little moment just acoustic. It's possible.
That would be nice.
Like a kind of a little break, in between, like two parts of the show, But when you do 30 minutes, it's too short to play a song with an acoustic and break a bit the rhythm of the show. So it's and it depends also on who you are opening for, because with the new songs that we have, we're gonna have some still very violent, but there is gonna be some stuff very, very catchy, very more open to a wider audience, I shall say. So I mean, we could open for Five Finger Death Punch, or we could open for Gojira. We have the songs for that. 100%.
It's always good to have something to choose from.
Yeah. Five Finger could be a good stuff for us as well, opening for those guys.
Yeah, they are big enough that would certainly bring in some people, and I guess it's the heavier stuff, so that could pretty much work, I guess.
Disconnected Bad Wolves, Five Finger Death Punch.
That would be a nice one.
Could be nice,
Okay, I'll keep fingers crossed for that.
Yeah.
I
mean, it depends on like how things are gonna go, how the business is gonna be at that moment, and luck is always
that's always a factor,
important.
Not just now, that's always.
Yeah,
and you've got to be ready for the chance when it presents itself, like really.
We'll see as well when Mark is gonna release a new album as well. Of course, we will try and get on tour with him, and we kept in touch with him, like for the past 2 years, after doing that tour with him, we had a great relationship with him, and he decided that we had to keep in touch, so he gave us his contacts before parting ways after Amsterdam. So So we've always kept in touch with him, like shooting messages for Christmas and birthdays. And lately he had a little girl, and was very happy for him, and we send him some messages to congratulate him and his wife, and wish him the best with that. But I'm sure he's also itching to go back on tour and release something.
Yeah, no, I've talked with him sometime last year before they were releasing the live album. I was doing an interview, and he was like, at a point he was even depressed from all this state, because it was such a different situation for everybody, especially the people in entertainment industry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's been so hard on all these people. So
I have to tell you a little story about him as well, related to the release of the Downtime. He was an inspiration for that title of the EP. Because,
wow!
Because when we were exchanging messages during the COVID situation and period, he was always saying, yeah, guys, you gotta keep pushing, and continue to write songs during the downtime. He was always talking about the downtime. And I thought, wow, this word sounds really, really cool, and at the same time, it reflects a lot what's happening right now. So I had straight away that idea of let's name the EP the Downtime. And again, it comes a bit from Mark.
Yeah, we should give him the credits for the album name.
We will send him some copyrights with the few we're gonna sell. Yeah, no, he's been always very supportive with us, and we would really, really like to meet with him again and open for him again. We will see what's gonna happen.
Yeah. So good luck with all of that. I can wait to hear and see what people have to say about the album release tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll catch up with you later, and good luck. Let's hope the music comes back.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me and giving us exposure with this as well. It's always great.
It was so nice to talk to you. It's always such a pleasure with you. So
that's nice. I see you're a lot more relaxed than when you interviewed Miles the other day.
So good and nervous.
I was watching you. Yesterday. I told you.
Yeah, especially at the beginning, I was really, really nervous. But yeah, he was so nice and smiling and everything.
He seems to be such a nice person. Yeah,
he is
definitely very sweet. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, thanks again, and all the best to your audience as well. And we just can't wait to come back on stage, and we hope you're gonna enjoy this EP. It's only digital for the moment, so you can stream it, download it on every platform that exists. And so yeah, keep on supporting us, and we'll keep on pushing and growing, and let's meet you again on the tour, guys. Yeah.
So thanks so much again, and have a nice weekend.
Yeah, you too. Cheers, guys.
Bye.
We are disconnected. Cheers.